Sanitation conversation, and today I have the Chief Environmental Health Technologist, Head of Waste Management at the department, the AMA, and his name is Samuel Kpodo. He's here with me this morning to answer some of the questions that was raised yesterday. So good morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, good morning, and thank you for this opportunity.
So you give us a brief of the situation as you understand it.
Yeah, currently the situation has been that we have series of heaps of refuse developed in parts of the metropolis, especially at our lorry parks, the markets, and some low-income communities. And, so basically that is the situation we have, heaps of refuse in our markets and places like that. And problem has been that it's about our inability to assess regularly where to dump the waste that is being generated in Accra.
So why is it so? I mean, because this is not supposed to be normal. Yes,
it's not a normal situation, as you've said, because I want to explain that waste management is a flow. It's a flow with various components. We have to collect the waste, you have to transport it, and you have to treat it if necessary, and then you have to also finally dispose of it. But the problem you have now is the disposal, which is part of the flow, and that is what is not working properly, you say. So currently we have to transport waste from Accra to Tema and Okpom, and which is
so previously what were we doing?
Yeah, previously we were disposing waste at various, old quarry sites that we have identified and and constructed to use as a dump site, and they were just 7 kilometers away from the city center. But currently, the last place we dump was Achimota, but for public agitation we have to close down that place and move to Tema. At that time, Tema engineered landfill site was ready, so we have to move there. And looking at the distance, it affected the haulage of waste from the city center to Boom, because it's 37 kilometers away, and it's a round trip of 74 kilometers, which is the highest experience we are having now. And for that matter, instead of making 2, 3, 4 trips a day to the dump site in order to collect all the daily generation of waste, we are not able to do it because we're doing only a trip of waste now to Tema for a day.
Because of the distance?
Per truck, because of the distance. And what has even made it worse is that the operational hours that the Tema authorities are operating is not adequate for us, because they are not working in the night, they are not working at the weekends, and then occasionally we have this light off. There is a mechanism to weigh the waste.
Shouldn't that be a standby generator? I mean, and whose idea is it that it will not be open on weekends?
Yeah, the situation has been that it's about financial problem. We have Zoom Lion Ghana Limited as the company operating the dump site, even though it's owned by the Tema Metropolitan Assembly. So Zoom Lion is supposed to be paid, and so that you also pay the workers that are supposed to work in the night, who are supposed to work at the weekend. And that is not being done for a period of time. Because at the time that the dump site was opened, they were operating in the night and in the day. Because at a point, the Honorable Mayor of Accra intervened through the Deputy Minister of Local Government to call the MC for Tema at the time to arrange that we are able to dump waste 24 hours. And that was being done. But then the issue of payment came on. And so the workers there decided to work according to, the 8 hours from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
I'm just wondering why payment has become such a big issue. Because if, when they collect the waste from our homes, we pay them every month.
Yes,
because if you don't pay, then they will not pick your refuse.
Yeah, that is it. We AMA implemented the polluter pay system in the year 2010. And by the polluter pay system, the waste generator have to pay for the service of picking the waste. But unfortunately, that payment is only for the haulage, transporting the waste from your home to the dump site. it never included the operations of the landfill or the disposal site. And over the years, it was a subsidy by government who was actually paying. You see, at the time we were paying contractors directly from whatever they were doing. Government was paying for or subsidy for what do you call it, the operations of a dump site or a landfill. You see, but currently that policy has changed, and in fact it's being negotiated for that to all the costs have to be transferred to waste generators, and that is the option that could also come on, because currently you are only paying for the haulage, transporting the waste from the source of generation to the economy.
So what were we doing before? I mean, because who is responsible for when it gets to the dump sites? Is there, for instance, if Zoom Lion picks from my house, is Zoom Lion expected to pay for dumping, the whole refuse there?
Yes, Zoom Lion has been contracted, to operate a landfill under contract, and it's the responsibility of TMA to pay Zoom Lion for the operations, whether from government or from the municipality. It is TMA for Kpodo. It's TMA who is supposed to pay for the disposal of the waste, because waste generators only pay for the haulage, transportation of the waste. Doesn't include the payment for operating the landfill, which is a major facility that has to be there before waste is collected. You see it.
So from where you sit, when do you think this can be resolved?
Yeah, I think we are making contact with TMA and the Ministry of Local Government to intervene again.
Is that the only solution, though? Because can't we identify other places around?
Oh yes, you've just signed a contract document with the County project, and we have acquired land around the Gasa municipality that is specifically Danger. About 1,000 acres of land have been acquired to construct an engineered landfill site.
Since we're complaining about Tema,
yes,
how about the distance here too?
Yeah, the distance here, what we have done is, in that project, we have to construct about 4 transfer stations. And a transfer station is a facility which should be near the city center, so that when contractors or the haulage trucks pick the waste, they can go a shorter distance. Then in the north, we use heavy-duty trucks with long trailers to cut the waste from the transfer station, then to the engineered landfill site, which is at a further distance, like the Tema one. If you could have a transfer station around Achimota, then we could just send all the waste to Achimota. In the night, it is collected to Tema. But that facility is not currently there. And that is in the pipeline for AMA. And that project is going to surely start this year. Yeah.
Okay, so how come and we've talked about money, but there was a statement issued, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. The assembly owes the waste management people. Yeah,
that is true, but it's an amount of money that was owed before the implementation of the polluter pays principle, as I've mentioned. At the time, government or AMA was paying contractors who were servicing waste generators on behalf of the waste generators. You get the point? Government was paying contractors for servicing waste, basically at low-income areas. At the time, we only have about 50% of the Accra community paying for waste, like airport residential cantonments, Laboni. They were paying. But for areas like low-income areas like Choko, Mamobi, Newtown, government was paying on behalf of them per ton. At the time, it was 6 cedis per ton. Then it was increased to 10 cedis per ton. But then when the polluter pays principle was actually implemented, then we said citywide, everybody must pay for waste. And that arrangement is ongoing now. And that is why you find a lot of the Kayabola people, the small tricycles and vehicles, all of them collecting waste. You said because of the commercialization of waste citywide. You see, so that is the arrears. At the time when the municipality or government was paying contractors directly for collecting waste in Accra.
And so this will be way back then?
Yeah, it's way back.
And, okay, because yesterday what came out was that government owes the waste management company some 16 million Ghana cedis. And I can't believe that.
Yeah,
you know,
I think I also heard that amount.
Arrears will pile up.
The executive secretary of ESPA was explaining, but it was including the current one, like what we've not paid Zoom Lion for operating the final disposal site.
Okay, so that's also part of the 16 million.
Later, I think she was trying to explain that. So the old one and maybe some new ones were all added to it to make that whole sum of money.
Okay, so what we've been talking about has to do with solid waste. Let's move to liquid waste. Do we have problems with that part?
Yeah, liquid waste, as we've said, is nice soil. It's fecal matter, wastewater from our kitchens, wastewater from the bathroom, all come together, and stormwater all come together to make the liquid waste. And for liquid waste, for nice soil, I think the problem we have is with open defecation at open places by some residents. And then the latest things about packaging of fecal matter in polythene bags. People want to call it flying toilets. You know, that is the problem now. And they're mixing it with the solid waste in the bins. So most often we pick solid waste and we find fecal matter in it, and it is liquid waste. So most often it leaks out, it leaches out. When our trucks that compact the waste, we call them compaction trucks. Sometimes when they pick the waste, it's just blast. And fecal matter harbors disease germs, seriously, especially the cholera germ, the typhoid germ. So when you, decide to expose it by defecating anywhere or packaging it and just throwing it away, you may end up, contracting these fecal or waste-borne diseases, which is a problem in this country. And sometimes, if it's collected somewhere, it will also attract disease-causing agents like houseflies. They are attracted to fecal matter. Even our domestic animal, dogs, chickens, and whatever, is fecal matter. I would say it's edible, but it's highly infectious, and it is not good to actually expose it to these disease-causing agents.
What happened to the AMA's campaign in putting labeled dustbins at certain points so that people can put liquid in this one, put waste here? Yeah,
that is waste separation, solid waste. Yeah, I think that arrangement is being pursued. I think some time ago we have the yellow and green bin. That was the intention to...
Do we still have that? Because I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, a lot of these bins have been vandalized. Even the holders, the metal holders, have been removed by scrap dealers. By scrap dealers. So these boys who go around picking any sort of metal they see around. And so at places you find the holders standing and the plastics are not there. They have all been vandalized. But then the plastic waste management team, we met them yesterday, they are arranging to bring concrete bins, and they want to put liners inside, 2 at a point, so that we can still have plastics in one, and then the other waste, like organic and other waste in the other one. So that's because when you put a bin, plastic bin is stolen or is vandalized. Then, so a concrete bin is too heavy for anybody to just go and pick. And so that waste separation is still there. And I must tell you, currently, a kilo of plastic waste is 60 pesos. Yes.
A kilo of plastic waste
is 60. It used to be 40 pesos. Now it has been increased to 60 pesos to motivate the interest of people to pick the plastic waste that has been littered and then go away to a collection point, and then the manufacturers will pick it up and recycle it.
So where is this collection point? Because I don't see, I think there should be a campaign to get even households to send, this sort of waste.
Yeah.
I mean, even if not for the money, if we have identifiable places where you can easily just drive to and dump it.
Yeah, that is being done. In fact, yesterday our meeting also included that. They are now promoting it, but currently It's about individuals who are picking it from churches after church closes, at the funerals. You find people picking, and then they clean it, and then at a certain weight they go away and
so
take
that's
the 60
a kilo
per
is 60
kilo.
pesos.
Yes, and you have to pick about 350 pieces for the sachet to make a kilo.
Wow.
You see, so it's a lot of money, and if the value should be
Is
increased,
it a lot of money, or I'm thinking it's less money?
yes, that's
It
what I'm saying.
doesn't sound attractive.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. But then there is the need to increase the value so that people will be attracted, or people will even sort it at home. Currently, a lot of people are separating just sachet in their homes because we have vehicles going around picking them in sacks to their manufacturers. Yes, now we have almost 10 recycling companies in Accra here.
How about the dumping sites for the liquid waste?
Yes, the dumping sites for the liquid waste, we have the popular place that we want to call the Lavender Hill, that is behind at the beach, Colegono Beach. Part of the Colegono Beach is being used for that. But there are serious plans to phase it out because it's a crude way of disposal.
So what do we do? Do we put it in the sea?
Yeah, it is pumped, it is discharged into the sea. But now, you have, through the Honorable Mayor of Accra, we have now contracted a company to bring digesters. You know, there's a special equipment for treating liquid waste. And that equipment is now located behind the fire service training school. And about 40% of the waste that is collected from our septic tanks is treated. At that point now, it's only about 60% that is going directly into the ocean, which by the end of this year, more digesters will be brought, and then the Lavender Hill or the disposal into the ocean will also
Hopefully
stop.
we don't owe this new contractor, because one of the issues that I've come to realize is that we have very beautiful ideas, we contract people to start, and then with time we sort of owe them, so the beautiful idea stopped.
Yeah, I would like to confess that waste management is a difficult responsibility and expensive, you know. I mean, yes, personal hygiene, cleaning yourself every day, it's expensive, you say it. But then we cannot sit down for some of these things to happen. There are serious plans to ensure that we pay these contractors, because individuals are not paying. Those generating the waste are not paying. So it's for the municipality to get an IGF, internally generated fund, to pay. And AMA is not only waste. We have to engage in school construction. You have to engage in other responsibilities apart from the waste, you say. So I think there are plans to improve the situation, to improve, because waste is crucial.
So you're saying by the close of this year, we will stop dumping the liquid waste into the sea?
Yeah, oh, surely we are going to stop, because the Honorable Mayor is pursuing that, and then we are also rehabilitating our old Mudo plant. It is opposite Pasico. There is this huge plant there which is supposed to treat raw sewage. That is waste that goes through the sewer system, and you flush from your WC, and then it flows through gravity to the plant and is treated, and the effluent is aerated and then is dumped into the lagoon, to the ocean. And the sludge, the heavy material in it, is composted and could be used for regrassing or whatever horticultural purposes.
So in the meantime, you know, when the waste management companies are not consistently picking up the waste from our various homes, what would you say people can do to protect themselves against getting certain diseases? Yeah,
first of all, I would think that residents or waste generators should get extra, receptacles to store their waste, whilst they call the AMA for attention, because the way things are going now, we are being selective in
so we can call the AMA?
You can call the AMA to attention, then we call the service provider in that area to give attention to that particular area, because people have been calling from East Legon and places like that, and I call them and they go to service.
People will say that if
areas.
Legon is a plush place, when they call, you quickly attend to
there
them.
are calls from markets, Abublushi, calls from Tema Station, calls from Britannia. Currently, yesterday we have to work at Britannia.
Okay, so let me just bring it to your attention. Yesterday we went to the Nima, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? We went to the Nima market. It was terrible. Yeah,
the frontage. There is the Dunia Cinema, basically, yes. It is part of the problem, and we have these hips all over, but then we are controlling them.
The Nima market.
Yeah, we are controlling them. It's just because of the dump site.
Okay.
Instead of making more.
So I'm just getting the feedback from a director that was picked up yesterday.
Wonderful.
So I guess, you know, TV works, because we were on this yesterday.
Yeah, that is okay. And each time the press, comes out with some of this thing, we
but that shouldn't happen, you know.
Yeah, it shouldn't happen.
That shouldn't
but
happen.
Then it is the situation that is calling for that. Because I don't think in January we had this problem because all the waste was being picked. But this thing happened just 2 months ago, and I think we're going to solve it. Yeah.
Do you inspect these places?
Yeah, we have a monitoring team in all the various sub-metros. We have 10 sub-metros in Accra. And this monitoring team goes around to inspect these service areas, like the container sites and the service, or the house-to-house service area. You know, you have 2 types of service, communal container and then the house-to-house. So they go, but we depend more on complaints as well. You have a complaint desk that people call, and you have to record the complaint and take remedial actions.
Okay. All right. So my guest is Samuel Kpodo. He's the Chief Environmental Health Technologist, Head Waste Management Department at the AMA, and he's been sharing with us some of the plans, some very fantastic plans, if you ask me, that the AMA has. Okay. So we're thinking, we're waiting for that dump site. Now that you say a contract has been signed, when would we see this new dump site opened for use?
Yes, the construction of an engineering landfill site takes a period of time. Maybe in the next 6 months, I think we should see the completion of a dump site, depending upon the contractor that will be contracted to operate it. But surely, the way things are going, that facility has to be completed by end of this year, and a number of transfer stations that could take the waste, and then in the now we go to. By the immediate measure, is about appealing to TMA to open our landfill sites, both day and night, and then so that we can send all the waste.
Okay. So I'm sure you're screaming by now because of what you're seeing on your TV. But yes, this is a crime. This is how dirty some of the places have become. We're living with it. So watch it so that you realize what it is that you're doing wrongly that you have to correct. And I can't believe that. So if you're living in an environment like this, are you expected, do we still have to call on you to take care of these things?
Yeah, I think the site that you portray now is a site that is in a community. It's not an authorized dump site. It's a legal one, and it's the attitude of people who wouldn't like to register with our service providers to actually, make the waste available for servicing, and they decide to just put in nearby bushes and places like that. People have to register with companies for their waste to be picked after they have stored it in a bin. But the areas that is being showed now. Are
these, and we have a special project that we're doing. It's called Clean Communities.
Yeah.
And so these are some of the revelations coming out of that project. And seriously, I mean, it's just 8:32. It's still early in the morning yet, but we're living with it. And so just see it. I mean, these are places that we use every day. This is how does this make you feel? I mean, shouldn't we have inspectors going around to all these places?
Yes, as I've indicated, this is an area that has been,
but somebody will say that this is not my house because my house is walled. This is opposite where I live. So whose responsibility is this place?
Well, it's the responsibility of the municipality, because waste management is about the municipality or metropolitan assembly. And for this, it is for our inspectors to locate it, make it announced, and then we go to clean it. So once in a while, we organize cleanup exercises to take care of such places like this, because these are being done at the blind side of the AMA. So when it's detected, then we have to do a cleanup to the assemblyman. If he is there, he writes to us, we give the facilities, then we do a weekly cleanup to clear such nuisances if detected.
Doesn't scenes like this tell you that perhaps the AMA has failed?
We have not failed at all. We have not failed, because waste disposal is about, the individual's, discretion sometimes. If the normal situation is not working well, if the flow is not working well, then we have such situations. But when they are detected, we inform the immediate community to do a cleanup exercise to reverse.
Because these are the things that we mark you by, if you like. This is what we measure you with.
Yeah, it could be measured, but if we're generating close to 2,800 tons of waste, and then we are clearing 2,200, I think we are actually controlling waste in the city, and these are the peripheries of the city, and sometimes waste could be disposed of at your blind side, and you have to find a way of detecting it, just like somebody packaging fecal matter and just throwing it elsewhere. You cannot see it. You say, so when it's detected, then we can then take remedial actions.
So you're saying organized cleanup campaigns?
Oh yes, that is being done on a weekly basis at various communities. It's ongoing. Cleanups are being done every weekend. I mean, the last week we were at Tema Station to clear Tema Station with the traders. So it's been going when waste is accumulated, because waste accumulation is dangerous. It could harbor disease germs.
Okay. All right. So if a community fails in taking care of its environment, is there anything that could be done, or we still have to hold the assembly responsible?
Yes, for waste is the responsibility of the assembly. What happens is that when waste is accumulated in a community and is detected, we made contact with the assemblyman, and then a sub-metro. For every community we have a sub-metro. So the sub-metro is informed, and then an announcement is done through our information vans, and then a cleanup is organized to collect the waste that has been detected in a particular area. That is being done. For instance, we are even planning to clear the beach this weekend, because we've realized that the rains that came sent a lot of plastic waste to the beach area. So there are plans to organize cleanup exercise this weekend to bring the waste from the beach to the upstream at Jamestown.
Okay.
So
there was this seaweed that was washed ashore. I don't know if you ever saw in parts of, it was Cape Coast, portions of Accra as well. It was all over. I mean, initially we were calling it strange weeds appearing in the beach. I don't know if you saw it and what. Okay.
For such weeds come from other communities to such places, and when they are found, and then the community are informed to just remove them for disposal. That is being done, and that's why there was this oil, the beach cleaning program. I think in January they were there, but when it's detected, the company in charge are informed to clear it.
Okay. Yeah. So let me just read to you this. It says that Ghana is far from achieving the Millennium Development Goal 7 on environmental sanitation by the 2015 deadline. I understand that we're far below what the target is.
Yeah,
is that a worry to you particularly?
Yeah, it's a big worry, and indicators are that of people defecating in the open, as I've mentioned. The number of toilets, people are not using toilets, and the AMA is pursuing that every home has a toilet. And
how far with that campaign, though?
How far? It's ongoing.
Because if people are still openly defecating, then it means that that campaign too has failed.
No, it's not failed. You know, defecating outside is not the best. It's a crude way of, you know, handling waste. But then the Metro Public Health Department of the AMA is pursuing that. They're moving from house to house to find houses without toilets and then encourage them, give them notices to construct one. That is ongoing. But people defecating on the open are people who are squatters around, people living in, excuse me to say, kiosks and other places.
Because certain people saying that they shouldn't pay to use public toilets.
Yes.
It should be, you know, an open place where you can go and do your thing and come out. You shouldn't pay 50 pesos or any coins for it.
Yeah, I don't think it should be so, because a toilet has to be cleaned, you know. You have to operate a toilet and you have to ensure cleanliness. You have to provide tissue. You have to pay some facilities, so it cannot be free. So it is for us to enforce, you know, waste generators or whoever is defecating to go to the right place or be summoned and prosecuted at court, because in our bylaws it is legal to put waste elsewhere, you know, apart from where we have designated for waste to be put. So if there is a toilet and for you to pay some coins to visit a toilet, to go defecate outside, that will cost somebody's health. It's a serious crime and has to be prosecuted. And the only thing is, a lot of people are doing it at low-income residential areas, at the blind side of the AMA. But they need a lot of education, some prosecution has to be done for the habit to stop. Otherwise, it's not the best.
I am thinking that instead of waiting for structures to come up and then we realizing later on that they don't have toilet facilities, the moment we see them coming up, we should ensure that they have toilet facilities before, you know, they're fully in operation. Yeah,
that is true. In our building regulation, every home has to get a toilet. It's illegal for a home to be constructed without a toilet. A toilet, a washroom, and what. So when plans come for permits, we look at all these areas. But then in low-income areas, like somebody sleeping in a kiosk or some people living in a compound house, sometimes there is no toilet because they have found a public toilet close by, you know. So they want to make it an extension of their home by giving these public toilets and then, overloading that toilet. Because public toilets are meant for people in transit. For instance, most of them are in markets, lorry parks, and places like that. So when you go to market or place, you want to visit the washroom, you go. But people have made it an extension of their homes, and then they overload the toilet. And in the end, sometimes there is stench, there is fly, there is that kind of nuisance. So it is for residents who have no toilets to go to such. But if you refuse to go and just defecate, it's a criminal offense, and that could be land you in prison or be fined.
And I hear the town council system is not completely gone. The AMA still has a department, an inspectorate department. I'm going to have them here very soon to talk about inspections. I mean, when you hear there's an inspector coming to your house, that will make you want to do something. But in the meantime, can I just say thank you to you? I mean, thank you for sharing the plans with us. Thank you for the education as well. And I'll try and get that special number where people can call if the waste management companies are not picking up the refuse in our homes, and we need to call the attention of the AMA. But it's good that you're available when we call on you. So, Mr. Samuel Kpodo, thank you so much for your time this morning. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity to talk about the crucial issue of waste management in Accra.
All right, so